Hey, welcome back. Business 163, Personal Finance, and this is now our video number 3 in module number 4. As you know from the last video, we first started out measuring our financial health by calculating our net worth. And now in this video, we are going to look at the fascinating topic of our personal credit history. You can see from this first title slide, we are in this video looking at examining your credit. Now, there's going to be a whole module on credit and debt, and this is just a quick video to get you to get your current history and credit score. So we're not going to go into detail in this particular module on why that number and what your history says and how you improve your credit history. We're not going to talk about any of that stuff. We're just going to talk about getting that score to get a baseline measurement where we're at today. All right, so we do this in order for you, in a sense, to look forward to that module that's coming pretty soon on really taking a good hard look at our credit and what does each of those individual items mean, and how do we analyze and improve our credit over time. But in this video, what we're looking at is, well, first of all, what is the difference between credit history and credit score? And so credit history is very easy to understand. Credit history is simply your cumulative past record of how you have repaid your debts. It's your historical record how you've repaid your debts. Well, what debts? Things like credit cards, car loans, any kind of student loan, any kind of those kinds of things, right? Have any of your utility bills ever gotten to the point where perhaps they went to collections? Those are the kinds of things that show up on your credit history. Credit history is simply the historical record of how you've done repaying your past debts, okay? Now, that's different than a credit score. What is a credit score? A credit score, well, the credit scoring system started a few decades ago. We've had, obviously a record of people's credit history for a long, long time, but the whole idea of distilling that history into a single number, a numeric score, is relatively new. You'll see if you pull up the appropriate type of credit report, you have been assigned, currently you have a credit score, which changes from month to month, by the way. I don't know if you knew that, but the score you have last month may or may not be the score that you have this month, or the score that you will change next month. Now, we have here in the United States 3 primary credit bureaus who do all this hard work of accumulating your credit history and then scoring it into a numeric score. Those 3 organizations, you see them listed there: Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. And each of them have their own individual distinct algorithm, how they calculate and distill your credit history into a numeric score. And so typically for many people, each of those 3 companies score us slightly differently. And typically in most cases, the scores don't vary that much, right? Experian may give you a 700, TransUnion gives you a 710, Equifax gives you a 705 on any particular month. And as you can see, they're not the same number, but they're pretty close, right? In some rare occasions, the numbers will vary drastically. We'll talk about in the credit module later on this semester what that means and what you can do about it. But generally speaking, what you need to know is that the 3 major credit bureaus have tried to take every one of our credit histories and distill it into a numeric score, which makes it easier for companies to use as a predictor and to enable automated consideration and underwriting of, for instance, loan applications. All right, so all of that to simply say you have both a credit history and a credit score floating around. And quite frankly, the score will be different depending on the type of loan that you're applying for. Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax have different scores for you depending on if you're applying for a credit card or a mortgage loan or a different type of loan, okay? More on that in the module on credit. All right, now, What I'm asking you to do, however, in this module is simply to get your credit report, to obtain a copy of your credit report in order for you to take a look at where you stand and hopefully what your score is, at least from one of the major bureaus. How do I do that? Well, you can start at www.annualcreditreport.com. Here in the United States, by law, every single individual is entitled to once a year, or once every 12 months, a free copy of your credit report that you do not have to subscribe to anything for, you don't have to pay a fee for. You should be able to get your credit report, one report from each of the three bureaus, absolutely free. And that is what you're looking for. So if you go to www.annualcreditreport.com, I will tell you, you can get your credit report for free as long as you haven't done so in the last 12 months. And you should keep a good copy of that somewhere in your permanent files. You want to be able to return and look at that and keep your history for posterity's sake, right? So if for whatever reason in this class you have already gotten your copy of your credit report, then you should see if there's another way to get a free copy of your credit report. I don't want you in this class to pay for it, but you want to see if you can get a copy of a free credit report so you can at least assess where you are at. All right. So I hope that makes sense. For many of us in this class, we haven't gotten our credit report in last 12 months from freeannualcreditreport.com. And quite frankly, on the other side of things, if you have, well, quite frankly, whether you have or haven't, many of the banks that we have bank accounts with offer you a free credit report every single month. My bank, I do banking with one particular lending institution, one banking institution, Citibank. Because of the types of accounts I have with them, they give me my credit report and credit score every month for free. Okay, you may have that same kind of service provided to you by a bank already. However you get it, though, for this module, it would be really good and beneficial for you to secure a copy of a credit report and credit score for you as part of the work of assessing your financial health. All right, so I hope that makes sense. Of course, if you've got any questions about any of this, don't hesitate to ask. We will catch you in the next lecture.